Well, hello, hello. Hope that you're doing absolutely fantastic today. As you can see, the background looks a little bit different. The camera quality might look a little bit different. And that is just because I've had a long week, okay? I have been busting my butt since I got back from Europe. And, I've been trying to crank out videos, get stuff edited, and I am just not only swamped, but I am also just drowning in trying to get all the things done that I want to get done. To be expected, in the summer, this is my busy season and it's just keeps getting busier. I don't get a break, man. So I've got like 20 different things that I'm working on or actively trying to get done right now. And I've been thinking about making a video, thinking about making a video. I mean, the last video I uploaded was a couple weeks ago. It was my Europe vlog, my voiceover, and that just took so long to edit and get done itself that I just didn't want to do anything else. So I took a couple weeks, tried to get other things done, and it has really just not been that productive because I really have been working so much. But I did want to make a video because I want to stay consistent, I want to stay disciplined. So, yeah, that's where we're at. And as usual, now that I've got all that stuff out of the way, if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you've never seen my face, never seen one of my videos, my name is McKenna. I own a digital media company called Studio SB Creatives. And today we are going to be talking about three things that I learned while I was abroad that I did not know beforehand. So if you are new to the channel and are also new to my videos and you saw the intro, you may have heard that I was just in Europe back in April and I just put out a couple videos on it, but I have not yet talked about the things that were, I don't want to say culturally shocking to me, but that were different, things that I didn't really expect, things that I didn't know. So, this should be a fairly short video if I'm able to keep my rambling to a minimum. So, let's just get into it. The first thing that I found really interesting about visiting Europe was the diversity. Now, granted, I was in some of the most touristy places in the world, okay? I'm talking Paris, France, Rome, Italy, Milan, Italy. Like, yes, of all the places in the world for people to congregate, I was in the most popular, probably two in the world, back to back days. So, my perception on the whole thing might be a little bit skewed, but nonetheless, even in the most touristy places in America, to some of which I've been, I don't remember experiencing the level of diversity that I saw in Europe. I mean, I was seeing people from like Asia, from different European countries, from America, like people from the Middle East and just other like northern Asia, like India and stuff like that. Like the amount of people who were just there was kind of baffling. I remember it specifically while I was sitting down eating pasta on the street in Rome. Me and my friends are at this one table, and then it like a couple other people's, I hear Australian accents, I hear British accents, I hear people talking in Korean. I definitely heard some German inflections, but anyway, I heard a bunch of different inflections. I heard a bunch of people from around the world all in the same place. That type of thing does not happen in America. You're lucky if you hear one, maybe two accents in one place at the same time. It's a little bit more common, I'm sure, in the more touristy places, the more famous places. But to sit down and have about 9 plus different cultures just all around you at the same time, it was really kind of, I don't want to say weird. Weird is not the right word. It was just really interesting. I've never experienced something like that. And I get that it's easy for like people in Europe to go to other places within Europe because they're fairly close together. But yeah, that was one of the most probably shocking, most eye-opening experiences I think I had was just seeing all these different people from all different walks of life and, different corners of the world, all sitting down in the same place, just doing the same thing. Like, I feel like I don't need to try to explain it too much because I think you kind of get where I'm going with it. But yeah, I did not, that was not something that I even thought about happening until I was like in it. So that was the very first thing that I learned. Europe is a very, very diverse place. The second thing I learned was about the work life balance culture that Europe has. Now, I knew that they prioritized having a more relaxed life, a more, I don't know how you want to explain it. Just they really prioritize I don't want to say the mental health of people, but there's not as much of an emphasis on working as much as there is in America. There exist third places. There exist like early close down times. The whole cities shut down at like 8 o'clock. In America, you have places open till midnight, 2, 3 in the morning. I mean, before COVID hit, places were open 24 hours. So that was really interesting because like I remember me and my roommates, we were in Rome, and one morning we woke up, decided we were going to get dressed, go have a coffee at just this random little hole in the wall cafe that was right next to our Airbnb. And we walk in, there's people sitting outside of the windows, just, drinking their coffee, eating their food. And we walk inside, and there's like two people working. That's it. They're kind of doing their own thing. They see that we walk in, they help us out, we get our stuff, and then they immediately go back to doing absolutely nothing. The one barista who was in there, after she was done taking our order, she went out, started smoking a cigarette. When somebody came back in, she came back in, helped that person. After she was done helping that person, went back out and started smoking another cigarette. Just sitting outside, chit-chatting with the people. Nobody inside the cafe. Just us. Like, you can't do that in America. You can't leave your workspace. Like, employers are super anal about it and having like this profound sense of professionalism, and it's a McDonald's. Like, there is no going outside, there is no relaxing while you're on the clock in America. The workers in this cafe and in some of the other cafes we were at, they were just outside smoking, having a drink, doing whatever. It's so interesting to see people not being so strict about everything all the time. And honestly, I loved it. I loved seeing how comfortable people were just living their life. I had this one lady in my very first fast food job that I worked in high school. If you got time to lean, you got time to clean. That was her favorite thing to say. Big old fat lady, and she was horrendous to be around. That's just how it is in America. It's like they want you to stay busy. They want you constantly doing something. They want you being constantly professional. And in Europe, at least in Italy, nobody cared. Every time that somebody walked in, stopped what she was doing, went in, helped the person, and then just went back out to, you know, go back to enjoying life, sitting out in the sunshine. It felt like that's how things should be. Like, we're all people, we're not robots. And to see people acting like people, even at their places of employment, it's just so different. It's not something that I was used to seeing. So that was the second very shocking thing that I think I saw while I was abroad. The third thing was just kind of on the same tangent as the work life balance. I did not necessarily realize how comfortable you're able to get in restaurants. In America, we're a little bit spoiled. We're used to having things brought out to us, people checking on us, that hospitality aspect. And it's not that you don't get that in Europe, but it's different. Everything is very slow. People walk slow, people move slow, people do things slow. And that's just how life is. In America, it seems like not only are people being like hospitable, but it almost seems like, anything else? You want the check? Like, anything else? Can I get you anything else? Here's the check. Are you ready to leave? Like, here's your check. When you're done paying, you can just go. It's like you're being gently nudged out of all these places, whether it be a restaurant, a retail store, or whatever. People just mind their business in Europe. You know, if you need help, you go talk to the person. If you want your check to come, you kind of have to wait for the waitress to like lock eyes with you. You have to be a little bit more bold when you're ready to go, and that's because people in Europe really do prioritize, you know, their lives. They if they want to sit down and drink an espresso for an hour, they do that. In America, we just kind of we're always on go. We're moving, 10 miles a minute, every single day. Whereas in Europe, people actually sit down, they relax, they breathe, they decompress, and it could be the middle of the day on a Thursday or a Tuesday. Life is just, it moves at a different pace over there. And it was not a pace, it was a pace that I had heard about, but it's not a pace that you truly understand until you're in it, dude. It's not like drastically different. It's not like a life-changing experience, but it is definitely interesting and almost kind of difficult to get used to how things operate. Me and my roommates, we'd be sitting at a restaurant and we wouldn't have seen our waitress in like 45 minutes after she brought the food. And we're like looking around for her and we see that she's off the clock having a drink at the bar, at the restaurant that we're eating at, where she took our order. We hadn't gotten the check. So it's like, it's just really interesting to see how things happen. Like, granted, we figured out the situation, but it's like in America, never would have happened. That same waitress would have been cussing up a storm in the back, asking, like, just complaining to her coworkers that we just wouldn't leave. And she just wanted to leave so that she could get tipped and go home. And it's like, that just doesn't happen. It's like if you're off at 9, you're off at 9. See ya. Bye. Nice to know ya. I'm going home. Have a good night. And then we're sitting there and with our hands in our like what do we do? Our waitress is gone. How do we pay for the food? And yes, if you've heard anything about Europe, you know that tipping is not like a requirement. Like there's not even a place on the receipts to fill out for a tip. So it's like they're not getting tips. They're not getting tipped. They don't care about staying longer than they have to stay. So it's really interesting to see those types of things in action and not just hear about them on social media. So, yeah, I have many, many more things to talk about, but that's where I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. And as usual, if you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you want to tell me about some very shocking things, or maybe not so shocking things, and just interesting things that you found out regarding your travels to anywhere in the world, I'd love to hear about the experiences from those of you who are watching this video. Because, I want to travel more, and hearing your experiences might be able to help me in the future when I do go on and travel more. So go ahead and leave me some comments about your travel experiences from Europe, from America, from anywhere in the world. I'd love to hear them. And per usual, if you want to see more content like this video, you want to see what crazy adventures I get up to in the future, because, like I said, now that we've started, we can't just stop. Or if you're a simpleton and you just want to see more of my face, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one.